Good afternoon, everyone. It is March 26th on Sunday afternoon. Globex has not opened up just yet. Just want to review what we had last week, and then we can get into what we're looking at for the week coming up. Now, coming into the week, I was saying we were in true neutral as FOMC was arriving. Monday had looked below the yearly open and our balance at 38.81, came back above. And then on Friday, we'd peaked above, I think it's Thursday's close, and then Friday failed to hold it, came back below, back into balance. So to me, we were in this sort of true neutral zone, this 100-point balance area. Now, Monday, we were trying to break down, couldn't do it, broke upwards. Tuesday, we had a gap up, and we sustained that repeatedly. So it looked like someone was really trying to bid this thing up. Wednesday, we opened up towards the highs, kind of held it, had a shift in that weekly point of control at 40.38s, and then fell down a little bit before rallying into FOMC, getting that spike up into this green area where I was looking for a while. I'd been saying that above this gray area, I wanted to see 40.45-ish get tagged. I think we tagged 40.65 or 70 or something like that. After that, came down, flushed really nicely back to our pivot. Had a little bit of a bid, a short cover bid on Thursday. And I had been mentioning that it just looked like covering to me, and we got that perfect sell off, that distributive pocket 38.5 from that Wednesday session, and then we came right back down. Friday ended up opening below that key pivot area, and it looked like we might break down. However, shorts were trapped once again, and we rocketed up really nicely into the close. Just a very nice trend up into the close. Notably, our RTH close being above the 4 p.m. RTH close at 4,002.5, being above last week's close, the week prior's close at 39.99, I believe it was, something like that. Just checking right now. Friday. Last week's close was even further down, 39.50-ish. We closed above last week's high. So, closing above last week's high, firmly rejecting this lower balance area multiple times. Once on that Wednesday sell-off. Thursday, again, wicked in there, closed up above. Friday, should have been the day for bears to slam this thing down, given that we're opening below balance. We weren't opening above balance and coming to it during the RTH. We're opening well inside of it. It should have been an aggressive move down, but instead getting trapped. So to me, it's hard to be bearish at this moment. Maybe Globex opens up and I'm wrong, but for me, it's hard to be bearish just given that that is 1, 2, 3 tests of the lower balance area and 3 rejections. And to me, what I would be looking for is for us to get over, of course, that 4,000 big hole number and see what happens at that 40.38 to 45-ish area. And if we clear that, I would start looking at the FOMC high and up further. So let's take a look at that. You can see I've narrowed down this pivot range a little bit. We do have last week's point of control coming in at 75.5. We do have the RTH value area low, both for the 68, 87, 91, and 95%, all coming in at 47.5, coinciding with last month's low, the February low of the month. So to me, if we lose this kind of, last week's low down to up to around 50, if we lose this little zone here, 37 to 50-ish, if we lose this, we are likely going to flush down to 39.50 in the third standard deviation of last week's VWAP at least, if not get a real nice liquidation scenario. So that's what I'm looking at for the downside. But until we get that, I'm quite bullish to the upside. I'd be looking to get long at 75s. I think we might face some resistance around this 39 to 60 area, 35 to 60 area, this big chunk here, this big chunk of supply. But again, we've already tagged it once here at the beginning of March, once here on FOMC day, and now we're coming up to it again. So I'm biased to thinking this breaks. We do still have an open gap here around 40.99-ish, I believe, using that 4 p.m. close. So if anything, I'm biased to this week. As long as we hold 75 and especially this 45-ish number, I'm biased to us breaking last week's high as well as this current high of the month and see if we can get a markup move to the February point of control at 41.2875. So that's how I'm looking at this. I'm bullish in this week so far. The third standard deviation of weekly VWAP coming in at 81.25, so we've got quite a bit of room to the upside there. Yeah, that gap closes at 40.97.25. So I know it's a bit of a bold call, but given that again we had 1, 2, 3 rejections of this lower balance area, and we put in a ton of volume at the 75 number last week, I'm biased to us moving on up, getting that end of month markup, end of quarter markup as well, breaking these highs and really getting into this 41.28 area. I don't think we would really get too much movement above there. I doubt we're going to get above, this 54 to 65 sort of area, but that's what I'm looking at. I'd be hesitant on the short side above 37 to 50. And I'd really look to play longs this week. Hope that makes sense. I know a little bit repetitive. News-wise, we do have the home sales, consumer confidence, Yellen at the end of the day. GDP will be our big number on the week. And then Friday, we've got a bunch of news in the morning, then we're in the clear. So I'd be watching out for that Thursday GDP quarter-over-quarter number coming in pre-market. Other than that, nothing incredibly major. Yellen, that's pretty much at the close. So hope it helps. A little bit rambly, I know, but leaning long above this 37 to 50 area for a move above last week's high, above the current high of the month, getting into that 41.28 area. Hope that helps. Trade safe and have a great Sunday.